morning. What a fitting song for what I'm about to talk about. Okay. When Pastor Lane asked me to give a testimony and gave me the prompt of ways you see God working in your life, I had an idea of what I wanted to talk about, but I just wasn't sure yet. Then 2 weeks ago, at the last day of VBS, Pastor Lane and I and Connor were talking, and we're discussing details about Love Feast. And Pastor Lane was hinting at me for not giving her an answer on whether or not I was giving a testimony. And she recalled someone in the congregation referring to the way that we see God working in our life as God winks. Then I began to think about how I see God working in my life, and came to the term of what I call nothing but God moments, which is when I look back on where I came from, the seasons I made it through, or how things in life start lining up just right in ways that I can't explain. I laugh, I shake my head, I look up and I say, nothing but God was able to make that happen. After thinking a bit deeper about nothing but God moments, I began to reflect on how much life has changed for me in the years since becoming a youth intern here at St. John's. But to understand that impact, we have to go back to the past. The year's 2016, and I'm a freshman in high school. All of a sudden, my life does a complete 180 when I lose my father unexpectedly during the night. At this time, there were so many things running in my head. The fact that my father would not be able to see me graduate both high school and college. The fact that I lost someone who was supposed to help me through one of the toughest times of my life. A time when I was starting to figure out who I was as a person. After this moment, my faith and relationship with God became distant. I was angry and sad with God, and I had continuing questions of why. Why would he do this? Why would he take my dad away from me? My family and I took some time away from the church and began to cope and grieve the death of my father. Later in high school, I began to rebuild my relationship with God. I started going back to church, but I just couldn't find a church that felt like home. Then came college, another period that caused a distance between me and God. It was hard to find a new church. Being that I just moved to Baton Rouge and I didn't know the area well, I was figuring out college and getting my footing and establishing a routine while a pandemic was happening. But that all changed when I got a call from Connor Dean. Connor called me telling me that at the church she worked at, they were starting back up their position of youth intern and thought I would be a great fit. At first, I was wondering, why did Connor think of me? I couldn't even tell her the last time I went to church, and now she wants me to help her lead the youth. But I had this gut feeling just, to go and see what happens. I mean, it wouldn't hurt. Well, we see what happened. I'm so grateful for the opportunity that was given to me, and man, what an experience it has been to be the youth intern here. I'm blessed to say that I was able to find a good church that feels like home and took me in as one of their own. The love that I receive from this congregation is truly overwhelming. I'm so appreciative of this opportunity because of the chance it gave me to grow my relationship and faith in God, and oh, what a relationship it is. I'm appreciative of this growth because in the season that I'm currently in, I have been relying on God more than ever. I look back on where I came from a year ago, and I compare it to where I am now, and I just shake my head, laugh, look up and say, nothing but God. Thank you, Connor, for thinking of me for this position. Thank you to Connor and Pastor Lane for trusting in me and giving me this opportunity to regain my relationship with God. I am beyond grateful. Thank you to the congregation for taking me in with so much love. And to the youth, thank you for such a great year. I'm so blessed to have so many memories with all of you to remember during my senior year of college. Something I've learned in this current season that I am in is that sometimes when we talk to God or ask God for something or to give us direction in life, we sometimes feel as if we don't hear anything from him or don't have an answer from him. Those are the moments where he is working behind the scenes, doing the things that we can't see until we do. And the only thing we can do when we see them is laugh, shake our heads, look up, and say nothing but God. Thank you.
Oh, turn your eyes upon Jesus.